Howdy from Texas. This is Heath Hipple with Bugs Fishing, and I'm going to teach y'all how to tie the Bugs Magic Trebles. And at the end, we'll try a single. We'll tie a single, a Bugs Magic single. So we're going to start with a Mustad triple grip. This is a size 4, and we're going to start out with a really simple way to dress this treble. We're not even going to use rabbit. And so here we go. Danville 210 denier thread is what we're using, and so this is a short shank hook, and so we are going to start the thread, and we're going to take it about even with the hook points. Do a little half hitch, and you gotta be careful with your fingers here, or you will get stuck because those are really sharp. So, all right, when I'm tying, like I said, this is going to be a simple one. We're going to take some pearl crystal flash. I'm going to cut 3 pieces. So this will be good. Sorry, let's do 4 pieces. So here's the length. I'm going to cut those in half. So I'll fold it over, I'm going to cut them in half. And then I'm going to wet the ends with my mouth, and I'm going to bring them through the hook eye right there. And so I'm kind of estimating, where the middle is, and I'm going to tie them in. I'm going to make a couple wraps to tie them in right there. And so you see, I started where the eye is facing towards me, and there's a gap right there. And so now I'm going to rotate that in my vise, and on this other side, since it's a treble hook, there's the eye, and there's one of the points there in the middle. I'm just going to bring them right over there. So a few of the strands are below, and a few of the strands are above. And I'm going to make some thread wraps right here. Okay, and this is finished. And I'm going to do what's called a whip finish knot here. So this is if you've never tied one of these, this is a good, easy way to start. Cut there. Now I'm going to get some, I'm going to use some what's called hard as hull head cement. Put that on the thread wraps. That'll help with durability. The durability is also helped because you're going, those pieces of flash, come in the eye, through it. They're kind of doubled up there. And so that's a Mustad triple grip. It's a size 4. That's a really simple way to add some flash to one of your treble hooks. You of course can add a couple different colors, but this is a good place to start. So there's one. Now I'm gonna show you what the Bugs Magic Trebles. I'm gonna show you exactly how those are tied. So this is a VMC saltwater finish. This is a size 2. And if you have a bone, full size topwater, like a 1-knocker, super spook, full size, this is a really good size to use. And we are going to tie, we're going to tie one that I think that complements a bone colored topwater really, really well. So it's in the vise, and I'm taking it just below the hook point. do a half hitch. All right. So now we're going to do 3 kinds of flash. We're going to do crystal flash in gold. So like I said, this is this color is called bone gold, and I think it complements a bone colored topwater really well. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces. So 4 pieces of that gold crystal flash. Next I'm going to cut 3 pieces of gold micro flashaboo. If you have the standard size flashaboo, 2 pieces will do the trick, but in gold all I have laying around is that micro, which is really thin. And then I'm going to cut some UV tan crystal flash. And so I'm going to line up the ends of all this flash that I've cut. Okay, so I've lined up the ends, and then I'm going to cut them evenly at the back. Then I'm going to cut them in half. Whoa. So I'm going to cut them in half. All right. So same thing we did on the other one. I'm going to start them right here. I'm going to wet the ends, and then I'm going to bring them through. Oops. Almost had it. There we go. Wet the ends, and I'm going to bring them through. I'm going to turn it in my vise, and I'm going to bring them. Whoops. There you go. And see, they're kind of lined up right there. So I'm going to bring those to the point. I'm going to put a little 3-turn whip finish there. So now I got my flash. And now I'm going to grab the rabbit. So we're going to use cross-cut rabbit for this application because it lays down flat, and we can tie it in sparse, and it'll have the least effect on the action of the bait. It'll have the least it will affect the action of your bait the least. So it's called cross-cut because they cut across the hide to where the hairs lay down like that. And so to make it easier to tie in, you cut it at an angle, just like that. That way, when you're tied it in, you hold it, and your thread wraps are going to come just like so. Okay. And I'm going to put a whip finish knot here. I don't want that to go anywhere. I'm going to pull it tight. Alright. Then I'm going to move my thread towards the eye. Okay. I'm going to do 2 revolutions. So, and when you wrap something like this when you're tying, it's called palmer. So I'm going to palmer it twice, and as I do, I'm going to move it towards the eye. So there, that's 2 revolutions, 2 times around the shank. I'm going to separate the hairs just like so, and I'm going to tie off make about 4 turns, and then I can cut this close. The thread won't release. Okay. So I'm going to make this a 2-part process. All right, so we just did a whip finish knot right there, and we're going to make this super durable. And so now we're going to cover the rest of these thread wraps. It's going to look better. It's going to last longer. I'm going to cover up all those, the end of that rabbit. Okay, one more knot here. All right, pull that tight. Make the cut, and then just like before, hard as hole, head cement. So that is gonna give it a little comb right here, kind of even it up. So that's a Bugs Magic Treble Bone Gold. You got the combination of the silver, the UV tan, and the gold crystal flash, the gold flashaboo, and the UV tan. UV tan crystal flash, and that looks great behind a bone full-size topwater like a one knocker. All right. When I started doing research on these, I figured out that a lot of y'all like using inline single hooks, and so we're going to tie a Bugs Magic Treble with an inline single. This is a VMC. It's a 2/0, and it's called inline because the eye is inline with the hook, and you can put a split ring there, and put it on the back of a hard bait. It's more weedless, and it's easier to deal with, especially if you're going to be releasing fish. Less likely to get stuck compared to a treble hook. All right, so we're going to be using red thread, same 210 denier. And the concept is very similar with the ones we've been tying. Go just past the barb. Just past the hook point. And we're going to be using red crystal flash. And I'll get three pieces of red. And I'm going to get some UV pearl. And I'll get 2 pieces of that. So I got those, and now I'm going to get a type of flashaboo called lateral scale. I really like this. It's pearl, and it has kind of crimped, and so it really shines really nicely, and I guess it has kind of a scaly look. And so I'm going to get 3 pieces of that. And same as before, gonna line up the ends. Let me pick them up here and I'll show you. This doesn't want to cooperate. All right. So line up the ends. I'm going to even out this side just by cutting them, and then even them out on the other end. The Flashabou is longer, the pieces are longer, so you'll always cut a little bit there. And then I'm going to double them up, cut them, wet the ends. Whoops. All right, let me wet the other side, see if I can get them. There we go. They're pretty much stuck together. There we go. So same deal. You know what? I shouldn't have cut those. Hold on. So I shouldn't have doubled those up and cut them, and so I went and cut them again. I cut the pieces, and I didn't double them up because they ended up being too short. And so these are going to end up being too long, but we're going to trim them at the end. And it's certainly better than being too short. All right, so same thing. We took our thread just past the hook point, went through the eye, back on the other side. Like I said, we'll trim that at the end. All right, and on this one, we're going to use white cross-cut rabbit. Get a good piece here. So we're going to use white cross-cut rabbit, and same thing, we're going to cut a diagonal notch in the end to make it easier to tie in. Whip finish here so that doesn't pull out. As I bring the thread forward, it's a good idea to just knock that down a little bit. All right. Now we're going to palmer it twice. So once and twice. Separate the hairs here. Three or four thread wraps. So we cut it and it doesn't come out. So we're going to do just like last time, whip finish knot here. And then we're going to make the second knot. We're going to make sure we cover all that tag. And it'll just look nice and clean. One more knot. So this will be really durable. And then just like before, hard as all head cement. And so now, see we have all the trailing flash back here. I'm going to kind of even up right here. And that's a Bugs Magic treble tied on a inline single hook. So you can use your imagination with these, both in the colors of the flash. You want the combinations of crystal flash, Flashabou. Use cross-cut rabbit to minimize the drag, but still gives you the combination of rabbit and flash. Gives you a little extra wiggle, extra flash behind your bait. Kind of looks like a tail, and I know it'll help. So 3 ways, you know, just the flash, the Bugs Magic treble with flash on a treble hook, and then the inline single. Catch you later.